This is Group 21, Department of Insurance. We are here to talk about the foundations of business communication. But to start with, I would like to talk about the concept, model, and 3 common levels of communication. Communication is said to exist when there is a person, which is the sender or transmitter, who wants to pass the information. So there is another person, which is the receiver, so whom the information is passed on to. 3, the receiver partly or wholly understands the message that is being passed on to him. And 4, the receiver responds to the message or gives a feedback. Therefore, communication is said to exist when there is the passing of information and understanding from one person to another, by Kurt Davis. Communication originates from a Latin word which is called communis, and there we move to the models of communication. We have 2 models of communication. We have the transactional model of communication and the constructivist model of communication. The transactional model of communication, generally speaking, it refers to a model of communication in which interaction in 2 different directions are considered together. An example of transactional model of communication includes a face-to-face meeting, a chat session, a Skype call, a telephone call, or an interactive training, and so on. In the constructivist viewpoint, it is a model of communication in which people get to a stage whereby they get the same meaning to a particular sound, signal, or other models of communication. There we move to the 3 common levels of communication. We have the intrapersonal level, the interpersonal level, and the group level. In the interpersonal level of communication, it consists of informations, ideas, or messages one sent to oneself. And the interpersonal level, it is the communication engagement that exists between 2 people, either through face-to-face encounter or through electrical or mechanical device such as telephone. And we have the group level. It ensures when 3 or more people meet either through face-to-face encounter or through other medium of communication such as a conference call or webinar. No business communication can survive and grow in the absence of communication, and this brings us to the concept of business communication and the importance of communication.
Business communication refers to the exchange of ideas, information within and amongst organizations, as well as with external stakeholders such as customers, members of the general public, and suppliers as well. Effective communication is very critical to the success of any business, as it helps facilitate and maintain relationships, build trust, and facilitate decision making, and promote productivity and innovation. Some examples of business communication include emails, memos, reports, presentations, meetings, interviews, marketing materials, and social media posts. Depending on the context and purpose of communication, different forms of language and tone may be used, ranging from formal and professional to more casual and conversational.
There are several fundamental elements of business communication. The very first one is clarity. Use simple language for your audience to understand what you're talking about. The second one is active listening. There is a difference between listening and active listening. You don't just speak to the audience, you need to understand what their own opinion and view about what you're saying is. Another one is empathy. You need to be able to put yourself in the shoe and the position of your audience. You need to be able to feel what they are feeling. Another one is non-verbal communication. You need to understand every body language. If your audience are frowning their face, you need to be able to see it. And your body language also tells. You need to be able to give a direct and very positive body language when giving a communication. The next one is timing. You need to understand the timing of your audience. If your audience has other timings, they have other things they need to do with their time. You need to understand this. You don't just keep speaking and go away with their valuable times. And the very last one is feedback. You need to be able to get feedback from your audience. Don't just give a message out to the people. You need to get their opinions. What did they say about this? So as to be able to clear every misunderstandings that we may have.
Barriers to effective communication. What is barriers to effective communication? Barriers to effective communication refers to the factor or obstacle that hinders the successful exchange of information or understanding. These barriers can occur at various stages of communication process and can be caused by various factors. Some barriers are: number 1, language and cultural differences. Communication can be hampered when people do not speak the same language or come from different cultural backgrounds. Number 2, noise and distraction. Physical or environmental factors such as loud background noise, interruption, or distraction can make it difficult for people to hear or understand each other, leading to communication breakdown. Number 3, emotional barriers. Emotional states such as fear, anger, stress, or anxiety can interfere with effective communication. Number 4, we have lack of clarity in communication, ambiguous messages, or the use of jargon or technical languages, or poor articulation can result in confusion or misinterpretation, which can lead to communication breakdown. Number 5, we have information overload. Too much information or excessive complexity in communication can overwhelm the recipient, which can lead to confusion or lack of comprehension. Number 6, we have different communication style. People have different communication styles, which are being assertive, passive, or aggressive. These styles can impact the effectiveness of communication, with assertive communication generally being the most effective. Number 7, preconceived notion or biases. Pre-existing beliefs, biases, or assumptions can affect how we interact with each other, which can lead to misinterpretation or miscommunication. Number 8, we have physical barriers. Physical disability or limitation, such as hearing impairment, visual impairment, or speech difficulty can impede effective communication. Number 9, we have technological barriers. Communication through technology, such as email, text, or virtual messages, can pose challenges due to issues such as poor connectivity, technical glitch, or misinterpretation of messages conveyed through written or virtual means. Number 10, we have hierarchical or power dynamics. Communication can be hindered in hierarchical or power-driven environments where individuals do not express themselves comfortably because of fear of reluctance or judgment.
7 C's of communication. We have courtesy. Use polite and respectful language in your communication. We have completeness. It refers to the fact that for any communication to be very useful, you use effective, and it must be comprehensive, and you have to express all the details. Clarity. Be very clear on what you are saying. You are communicating, and you should avoid confusion or misunderstanding.
And the fourth one is consistency. Consistency refers to as the approach to communication, and it should be sustainable and unbiased. So the fifth one is concreteness. Concreteness is being specific and being upright in every conversation you can have. So the sixth one is consciousness. Consciousness refers to the principle to make any message to be brief and short as much as possible. Consideration. The seventh one is consideration, and consideration is the need to be able to craft your message and to be able to at least make it a bit presentable to your audience or your listeners.
We have 4 S's of communication: shortness, simplicity, strength, and sincerity. Shortness, make your communication concise and to the point. Simplicity, use clear and easy understandable language that's suitable to the audience. 3, strength, make your message clear and impact by using strong word and phrase. 4, sincerity, communicate with trust and genuine as to build trust.
Communication takes various forms depending on the medium or channel used to convey messages. There are some types of communication. 1, verbal communication. This involves the use of spoken or written words used to convey messages, such as presentation, meetings, face-to-face conversation, and written documents such as emails, memos, letters, and reports. 2, we have non-verbal communication. This type of communication involves the use of gesture, face expression, body language, eye contact, and all. Non-verbal communication can be very powerful even without the use of words. Thirdly, we have visual communication. This type of communication involves the use of visual elements such as images, videos, diagrams, graphs, and charts. Visual communication can be very particularly effective in presenting complex information. Fourth, we have written communication. 5, we have electronic communication. This type of communication involves the use of electronic devices such as computers, smartphones, gadgets, and other digital tools used to send and receive information and messages. 6, we have interpersonal communication. This type of communication occurs between individual or small group of people, and it involves face-to-face or one-on-one communication. It can be formal or informal and can occur in various settings such as personal conversation, business meeting, interviews, and social interaction. 7, we have group communication. This type of communication occurs within a group of team setting and involves communication among multiple individuals. It can include discussion, brainstorming section, team meeting, and collaborative effort to achieve a common goal. Last, we have mass communication. This type of communication involves the dissemination of messages to large audience through mass media channels such as radios, newspaper, magazine, websites, and social media. It is often used for public relations, marketing, advertising, and other forms of mass communication.
Importance of communication. Effective business communication is essential for the success of any business organization. Here are some key reasons why business communication is important. Firstly, it builds relationship. Good communication practices help build strong relationship with customers, investors, suppliers, and employees. This can lead to increased loyalty and better business outcome. Secondly, it increases productivity. Efficient communication channels enable faster decision making and problem solving, which in turn helps save time and increases productivity. Thirdly, it enhances customer services. Prompt and clear communication with businesses enables businesses to better understand their customers' needs and provide effective solutions, hence enhancing customer satisfaction. Fourthly, it improves teamwork. Effective business communication fosters collaboration and teamwork among employees. It allows them to work together in order to achieve a common goal. And lastly, it facilitates innovation. Communication creates a forum for sharing ideas and feedbacks, which help improve products and services and improve innovation. Overall, effective business communication is essential for creating a positive and productive work environment, achieving success, and retaining a competitive edge.